video. You can check it out over here. We are going to do a demo of the Offer Automator. Literally, just essentially push live in. I got my account. It's going to go in everybody's account today live, who is obviously a member of this or subscriber of this. Today at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is how's the connection on this? Good?
Not that great. It's a little blurry.
Is it really? Yeah, because it shows even on Instagram, it shows bad connection. Okay, so I am going to do my best to do this demo here for you guys. If you guys are watching over here on Instagram, make sure you join me over on the webinar here. Link is in the bio. I'm actually going to test, not actually test, I'm going to show you what we're doing. So if you guys are just joining us right now, I'm excited. Basically what we're going to do is we are going to demo the version of the Offer Automator that is inside REI Automator, and basically what this Offer Automator does, so you understand and why it's so important. It's cool. So you guys on Instagram, join us over there on Facebook if you could. So anyway, so the bottom line is basically what this does is it solves one of the biggest problems in the industry, is knowing what an accurate ARV on the property is, right? Knowing the accurate ARV. Then most importantly is knowing what the exit price is going to be. Now, what is an exit price? When you're wholesaling properties, you have to exit or sell the property into the marketplace. And knowing that number has been incredibly difficult. Trying to teach how to determine the percent of ARV you can sell your property to for any specific property has been a massive undertaking, and it's very difficult to teach because it's almost like you have to be doing deals in the market and knowing exactly what prices are selling for. It's like having a feel in the marketplace of what properties are trading for. And the problem is when you're brand new, it only comes with experience to be able to learn that information and finding what properties are trading for. Or the only other way you can do it is kind of reverse engineer actual cash transactions that have happened, or the lowest of the low comps in a specific area, and trying to reverse engineer it. And while you reverse engineer it, you have to go back and look at all the different properties. So what this does is it gives you an essential snapshot. It shows you what the ARV is. It shows you what the max, shows you what the exit number is. Now, here's the thing. If you exit, right, if you exit on that, hold on a sec. So the screen is really blurry, not sure if it's doing, James just said he's on the side watching right now. He says the screen's too blurry.
There's nothing I can do while we're
Nothing we can do. Well, apparently right now it's super overcast here in Phoenix, and every time it's overcast, the internet sucks here. So I apologize if the screen is blurry. I apologize for that. I'm going to, I think we're recording on our side. So I apologize for that being blurry if it is. So anyways, the bottom line is that this tool solves the biggest problem of determining an exit price for the property. So I'm going to show you two different properties. One that both of them we've closed during the past week and a half, 2 weeks. One we actually closed recently up to yesterday. And what it's going to do is I'm going to show you one where we nailed it spot on, and I'm going to show you another one where we missed the boat on what we could sell the property for. We sold the property for too low. So here's what happens if you don't know your exit price. First thing is going to happen, if you price your property too high in the marketplace, what's going to happen is you are going to have no calls. Nobody's going to call. No one's going to reach out to you. Your phone, nothing's going to happen. No one's going to want to see the property. And because of that, guess what? You're gonna have to start lowering your property every single day. That's not knowing. You have to lower it, and then the property becomes almost stagnant. That's if you price your property too high. If you price your property too low, which I'm going to show you the second property we did, we actually priced it too low. Our phone blew up for this property. It literally blew up, meaning it blew up, right? So, and we had multiple different offers, contract after contract, written contracts, back to back to back written contracts on this thing. And when I look at the numbers now, if I would have had this tool, I basically left a significant amount of money, about $30,000, to the tune of $30,000 on the table because I didn't have this tool. So either way, it's a negative. So how do you nail it spot on? How do you nail the exit price or what you're going to sell your property for spot on? The next number that this gives you, it allows you to enter your potential profit, your profit that you want to make. And that profit number is gets you to a max allowable offer number, max allowable. And now once you have a max allowable number, once you have that number, that's exactly what you're going to your max number that you're going to be able to get. That's number one. The other fourth number it's going to give you is what's called a goal target offer. A goal target offer is the number that you start the negotiation at. It's 5% less than your max allowable offer. That's your wiggle room. Because see, what happens is people get started, they put a goal target number of say $10,000 in there, and then a max allowable offer of $10,000 in there. Then they start the negotiation at the max allowable and negotiate away their fee. So if a seller says they want $3 grand more, $5 grand more, whatever the case may be, and you start the negotiation, if you start at your max allowable, it's going to reduce your fee. So let's get into this. I'm going to show you, and just again for the people that are joining us right now, this is basically it was pushed to my account. What's going to happen is it's going to go live in all accounts today at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Then you can go and you can play. We're going to have a training on this next week. Next week, there's going to be a full training on this. It's going to be part of the program on how to specifically use it. You guys can play with this. There's a couple things that you must do to make sure your comps are in line. I'm going to show you on here because Phoenix, for an example, sometimes it doesn't give you the beds and it doesn't give you the baths on there, right? So, so if you don't have a bed or a bath on there, you have to know what that is so it can give you correct comps to make sure everything works. So I am, if you guys are ready, I want to press that. That's the mute button. So I'm going to go in here and we're going to go through a couple properties. Let me show my screen. Okay, so now I've got my screen showed, and we're going to show this property right here. I'm going to move this down and make sure. Okay, so this is a property we recently completed, have done a deal. Now I'm going to basically show you how this works. So what you do is you're going to put in an address of a property. It's going to give you a map, show you exactly where the property is. And then you can click this link right here. You can click here, and what this will do is it'll bring up this thing. So if you guys have been in the app, you'll see that this is a normal preview of this particular property. So a normal preview of how this has done. So if we go in and look right here, you'll see this additional button. Now this additional button will push live to your accounts today at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this button will push live in your accounts. Now, I want to make essentially a disclaimer that we will do a full training on this next week. We're going to do a full training, James and I, and potentially one of the developers on here are going to bring this on. with you next week. Now, here's the caveat when it comes to this. If there's obviously no comps in the area, and it's not going to give you comparable or ARVs, if there is no comps. So there has to be comps within the area. Now, I'm going to click on this right here, right? I'm going to click on this right here. I'm going to go, basically let me show you the defaults. So this is set essentially for basically 6 months back. It gives the square footage of the property. Now, if you notice on here, up here, you'll see it has no bedrooms, right? It has no bedrooms. So you're going to have properties on here. It says no bedrooms on here. And it's going to pull in. We don't want that. We want to put the amount of bedrooms in here. We're going to put 3 bed, right? Max 3 bed. And we're going to put 2 bath, max, right? 2 bath. And what I'm going to do right there, if you notice, boom, it's going to give us essentially an ARV for the property. ARV means after repair value for the property, right? Now, over here, you see offer analysis. Offer analysis, it's ARV. This is 293. So I'm going to bring this property up over here, and this is Libby. This is in our whiteboard, in our Podio, and it shows all the correspondence on this particular transaction that we've done, and it shows this information, shows actually who the seller contact is, show the property address, shows the title company. Now, so you see it's a 3 bed, 2 bath. Here's the information, brand new AC, gives the information like this. And then, let me go. Right here, it gives the information. So we pegged this particular property right here at a 290 ARV. We pegged the buy price at 209, and we pegged the exit price at 220. Well, actually, this is what happened. We sold it for 225. Actually, it was 226 because this includes the closing cost. So let me go through, and I haven't done this yet because I didn't have time. I've been printing. So this is. It's addendum, that's with checklist mortgage, AB per BC. Here's the BC. So here's the BC purchase contract. And you can see on the BC purchase contract right here, it's 227,000 for Libby right there for 227, right? So 227 on that. And then if I go to this is the A to B, I believe. Yeah, here's our A to B. Purchase price 209 on this one. So this particular deal right here for us that we just recently closed, right, was $16,000 spread after all fees. Now let's go in the REI Automator, just mess around with this thing real quick. Now, when the app that will be pushed at 3 o'clock are going to have a little bit more updated things than this. So let me show you. You're going to go next here, right? You're going to go next, and what's going to happen, right? Now I'm going to go back to the first here. If you see here where I'm having to input this again, 3, 3, and then go 2, 2, and then I'm going to go 0.5 miles. So remember when we talk about actual comp, when we talk about comps, right? What you do is you want to look, you start at a typically subdivision, quarter mile, half mile, then you go 1 mile. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this back to a half mile in this area. The green right here is essentially indicators of cash transactions, and the other ones are properties that were purchased and then purchased right here at the lowest comps in the particular area. And it gives us an actual ARV, then it gives us an exit price, and then it gives us a percentage of the actual ARV that we can sell the property to in this specific geographic location. Now look at it. It's 77.794% of ARV, right, that we can sell that. So what it does, it gives us an actual exit price of 228, 230. Now, what did we sell the property for? We sold the property for 227, right? What did we buy the property for? We bought the property for 209. So if you go back to this right here, check this out. Exit right there is worth 293. Exit price 228. Our exit price is 227. Max allowable, right? Shows a 208 is our max allowable. And I'll show you max allowable because I'm going to show you that here in a second. It's going to build in our profit. What was ours? Basically, 209 was our max allowable. Goal target number was 197, which essentially will give us a $20,000 to $30,000 profit on this potential deal. So, so if you look at this right here, and now it gives you these numbers, which is insane. It gives you these numbers. Now I'm going to show you another property where we missed the target on. We sold it for too little of amount. We put it out. The phone essentially blew up, and we sold the property for way too low. I think someone else actually flipped it on the other side and made a chunk of money on it. Now, because we missed our target because we didn't have this tool. So now in our Monday morning meetings, when it comes to analyzing a deal, when our disposition manager, Sean, who's our disposition manager, he analyzes the property, he's going to be able to go in and know specifically what sellers are selling or buyers are buying properties for in a specific geographic location. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go now. Here's the cool thing. You can save this offer and it will save in the system for that particular property. So you can go in and save that offer and revisit it. We got some other killer tools that's going to come out around that. I don't want to, they're going to be working on it. I don't want to talk about it yet, but it's going to absolutely blow your mind at what it's going to be able to do as a saved feature on a property. It's going to literally, it's going to allow you to convert and get more deals because of, I'll just give you a hint, notifications. Anyway, so the bottom line is imagine knowing, and I can't help myself, imagine knowing if you could pay more for a property almost on an instantly, and then you could turn around, call that seller up and pay more because something happened. Remember, all the data is dynamically updated in the system. It's dynamically updated to the point where it immediately updates. So think about it. Think about if a transaction changes, a property sells for a higher price, and you could essentially pay more. Imagine getting notified, right? And that's coming out. It's not out yet. It's coming out in the next 30, 60 days. The bottom line is this will constantly improve and get better and better. So back to our example. So we have our example that we have, right? We have our ARV of 293, an exit price of 228. We sold it at 227, so it's spot on. The next is you go, and here's where you can put your desired profit. This number can be populated by you, right? You can do 10,000, right? Right there, and it will go 10,000. It will say goal target number, max allowable offer 218, and then boom, you can do that right there. So this right here is, so we have a $20,000 number is what we do. And that allows us to get our specific numbers and our spreads up. So our average company spread right now is over $17,000, and it's primarily of having these numbers in here of a $20,000 desired profit. Now we go next. So what is a goal target number? A goal target number is what we call wiggle room. We put in what's called a 5% wiggle room. So we start at a goal target offer, and we negotiate up to our max allowable. If you start, it's your goal target number, your max allowable offer, and you negotiate up, what happens is you're eating in to your $20,000, $10,000, $5,000, $7,000 fee, whatever that case may be. So when it comes to negotiation, you want to start at the wiggle room number and move your way up into the goal target number and stop at the goal target number. So if you can negotiate that, that's going to ensure and guarantee that you're going to get a profit. Now, remember, you're going to be able to offer higher if you know exactly what your exit price is, right? If you knew your exit price on a particular property was $228, right, you're going to be able to go in and be aggressive and know that you can be aggressive on that particular deal, especially if there are other wholesalers that don't have this system. They don't have it. They're not going to know the exact exit price, and you can be an aggressive and you can make sure that you outbid everybody in the market if that's what it comes to. If you have multiple other investors on the property, you know exactly what your exit price is. It literally can change everything. So here's the thing, the great thing about it, then you can turn around, and I'm not going to go ahead and do this, you can turn around and you can save this, right? You can save this in the system, and then you can revisit these at any particular time. Now, let me go in this right here, right? Let me go in this. The green are the cash transactions. What it does, it selects the lowest of the low comps in a specific area in a quarter mile that have closed in the last 6 months. They're 3-bed, 3-bath. That it populates the year built, right? And then basically it just has all this information right here, right? So basically what happens is, let's say for an example, you go in and you see another property. It's going to automatically select the 3, but the cool thing is, let's say if you go back to ARV right here, if you really want to get detailed, you can turn around and you can unselect and select what you choose. So remember, this is a software that's going to go into the system, and it's going to determine what are the properties that were sold at the highest price per square foot, the highest comparable properties within the desired time frame, right? Within the desired distance, and it's going to determine that. And what happens is, typically the properties that sell at the higher number are the properties that are all fixed up and renovated. But let's say theoretically you go in here and you look at a property and you do a little bit more research and you pull the address and you look at the pictures and you find out that maybe one of these properties is fully renovated, right? You can have the ability, because there's some people that don't want to be locked into a system without having flexibility to modify and change on specific data. So they go in and they say, hey, listen, I know this property, this property, and this property, they have sold recently, and they have all been renovated, and it might push your ARV even higher. That's going to push your exit price potentially higher, depending, you know. And it might not, because when you go to exit price, right, it might not bring that up. It might not do that, because an exit price, these are completely different comps than it is for ARV, right? These are completely different comps. Exit price comps are completely different. These are the lowest of the low comps, and these are the potential cash transactions, if they are cash transactions in the desired search area. Now, people ask about, what about repairs? What happens with repairs, right? Now you got repairs. How do you know about repairs? Do you put, where's the repair calculator on here? I've got that, and I know you're asking that question. I can feel it. I can feel you're asking that question. And here's the funny thing, when we're talking to developers, they ask the exact same question themselves. So here's the bottom line, is that this property, this one right here, let's look at this one. 32nd place, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,300 square feet. This property is sold $322, sold amount $200,000. This $200,000 number, that repair number is built in. That repair number is built. That means if a cash buyer bought that property at $200,000, he already took into account the amount of repairs that needs to happen on that particular property, and it's built in to the number. All right, let's go to the next one. Go to the next one right here, 31st, right? 1,400 square feet, built in 86, right? 12.8. This one sold for $229,900, $161 a foot. Distance 0.4 miles away, right here. Look at this number, 229. The actual repairs are built in to that specific number. It's actually built into that number. So, so here's the thing. You don't have to calculate repairs because it's all baked into the number, right? A person doesn't go pay, $20,000 higher for a house, $20,000 higher for the house, and then have a baked-in repair number on the inside. You know what I mean? That essentially does that. So here's the thing. You got these right here. So now he basically takes the 3 lowest low comps. If you see that there's either something you know or different or other lower comps in the area, you can have the ability to select and unselect. But basically what it's going to do is going to select the 3 lowest comps in the particular area. So what if you don't have 3 lowest comps, right, in your half-mile radius? Then you go to 1 mile. What if you don't have 3 low comps within a 1 mile? Then you go to 1.5 miles. What happens if you don't have comps in 1.5? You go to 2 miles. You have to continue to go out until you find actual comps. Now, if you don't have comps in a 3-mile radius, 6 months back, I'm going to tell you that is not a good wholesale property, because the investor, if they can't find comps in a specific area, guess what? They're not going to want to invest and put their money at stake and close on this thing in 7 to 10 to 15 days or less if they don't see comps in a particular area. They're not going to want to buy the property, right? They're not going to want to buy it. I've had people come to me all the time, and there's a property out in the middle of nowhere, and they want to say, hey, I got this smoking deal. Seller wants to sell it, really cheap. Well, guess what? No one's going to buy it on a wholesale basis because it's out in the middle of nowhere, and this software is not going to work with properties out in the middle of nowhere there's no comparable sales, right? And that's just common sense. So when this pushes out at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time today, 6 p.m. East Coast time, and you go in here and you put a property in here and it's in the middle of nowhere and there's no comps in here, don't say it doesn't work. It's because there is no comps, and it's not going to be a wholesale deal. And a buyer's, it's the chances of them jumping and wanting to buy that property is slim to none, right? It can happen, people buy, but the price has got to be so stinking low. It's insane. It has to be such a smoking deal. Literally if you get houses out in the middle of nowhere, if they're worth $100,000, we're offering $30,000-$40,000 deal because no one wants to go out there. So it has to be so cheap that people want to actually go out there and do stuff for it. So, but that's not the intent of this tool. The intent of the tool is actually use geolocated neighborhood 1 mile radius data that will actually give you what the ARVs are and what the exit price is. All right, so this is the property on Libby right here. Right, here's this property. Boom, this was, you saw this right here. We pegged the ARV 290. This thing pegged ARV at 293. We pegged our exit sold price at 220. Actually, it was 227 per the contract right here. You can see we sold it right here at 227 right here, and our buy price was 209. So per the tool, we would have been right on 77.794%, 293 ARV, 228 exit number. And guess what? We exited at 227 on that particular property. And look at our max allowable is 208. And guess what? We got 209 because we started at the wiggle room number right here and negotiated right here 197 and negotiated up to the 209 number. So now, is that not cool? That is the coolest thing. Now, let me show you where I screwed up and I made a mistake because I didn't use the tool, right? Now I'm going to put this one in. This is property on Hearn. Right, here's the property on Hearn right here. Now I'm going to put this in and we'll show you how I screwed up on it. Now I'm going to go to Offer Automator. I'm going to put this again. It doesn't have better bath, so and it has no better bath here. 4 bed, 3 bed. So it doesn't know that it's a 3 bed, 3 bath. So I'm going to put 3 3, 2, 2, right there to start. Now, what we did on this particular property, we pegged the ARV at 265. We had a buy price of 120. We had a sold price of 156. So let me see the BC purchase contract. Let me see exactly what it was we sold it for. We actually sold this for 158 was our exit price number. And that's our exit price number. And our A to B side was 120, right? 120. So 120. So this particular property, we pegged the ARV at 240, 265. Now, this machine is telling us 245. So now let's look at these comps right here. And see, these are essentially the highest of the high comps in a 1 mile radius that have closed. So we essentially pegged that for a too high of an actual ARV. We pegged it too high. This is the actual ARV, and it actually shows you 117 days on market. That's critically important when it comes to negotiating with a seller. It shows you 117 days on market. So when you're negotiating with a seller and you're talking about what they're going to net and when they're going to net, you say, listen, our average days on market for your specific geolocation right there is 117 days on market, right? 117 days on market. So what I'm going to do now, right, is I'm going to go to next. Now, this information on the push, when it pushes out at 3 o'clock, will be automatically populated. So you're not going to have to go in and do this again. You're just going to be able, it's going to be automatically carry over to this next page. So I'm going to go to a half mile, just like I did last time, kind of see what comes up. And it's pretty much the same comps that came up. So we've got the green little box shows it as a actual cash transaction. And this green box shows it as a cash transaction. We've got 958, actually it's 1,000, oh wait a minute, here and here. This is, it's 1,1064 square feet. So make sure that has that within that number. Okay, so there we go. So we've got 1,006, these are, look at these right here. These are model matches. A model match means it's the exact square footage. 1,064 built in 78. This is 1,074, 1,064 built in 78. Look at this. These are the wholesale numbers of what these sold for. These are not fix and flip properties. These are cash transactions. So if I take this, and I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to put it over here, and then we can see some. Let's see some pictures. And this is how you would do essentially a test on this. So see this right here, this shows it a little bit bigger at 3 in price reduced. So that's 37. This one shows a cash transaction. It shows that house a little bit bigger. Let me see this one right here. I want to make sure I get the right. Okay, so 3.2. This one shows bigger too here in square footage. So there must have been either an addition onto the property, or they have said the addition. But the actual tax records, this is the actual tax records on the property right here, right? This is the actual tax records. So let's look at this. This is essentially a wholesale property, not fixed up, that sold for 194. This is a HUD home sold for 194 next to our subject property. So you can do a little research on here, and those within a half mile radius are the 3 lowest of the low comps. This one, and look at these are also right here. These are price number, and the square footages it shows on these are a little bit higher. Now, these right here, this is not tax record square footage. This is actual. That's why when you do comps in Redfin, you have to make sure you have this tool to check exactly what the square footage is in the tax records. Because I've been into a property. I got a property right now. It basically shows in Redfin 2,800 square feet, but the actual square footage on the property is about 1,900 square feet. There's about 900 square foot differential between Redfin and between tax records. So there is something wrong. What happens is if you use Redfin and you use Zillow, and those are what you use to actually determine comparable sales and make your offers and determine exit price, you could be in a situation where essentially you could think that's 1,300 square feet and there is no permanent addition for the property and it's not showing up in the tax record. Now, if there is a permanent addition and it's not essentially showing in the tax record and they can prove it, this is where you come in and you adjust your comps, right? This is where you can come in and you can adjust your comps. So what I would do in that scenario is I would go 1 mile, right? I go in a 1 mile radius and I would look for comps that are potentially bigger. All these are actual properties that are, this one's a little bit bigger, 1,064. These are all model matches that have actually sold on this property. But you see, you got 250, 247, 240, 239, right? Is a higher comp. We still have these checked. Now, what happens if I go check? I uncheck this 190, right? Look what it does to our exit prices. Increases. Let me see, 194, 196. Now, what if I add this in right here? Let's say I add a 238 in, and increases our number. So what the cool thing is this gives us the benefit. Let's say we find out, let's say we're talking to the seller, and this isn't really 1,064 per the tax records, but it's actually, like we go over here, and it's actually 1,300 or 1,400 square feet. What if that's the actual number? Well, guess what? This gives us the ability to start selecting comps that are 1,100 square feet because so the ability to, I don't know any other tool that will, which is amazing. Now let me show you this thing right here. This is showing a pretty high exit number, 194. Now what we exited on that particular property, we exited at 56. Now look at this home right here. Now this home is obviously a little bit higher at 1,400 square feet right here, but essentially this is showing that right here that the property sold at 194. So it's a good thing to go in and just double check real quick and make sure you've got same type of property for same property. So that was a little bit higher on the property. So we probably left a little bit of money on the table selling the property at 156. Obviously we left some money on the table. Especially you got some of these other ones right here, and these are the cash transactions. These other ones that are selling for a bit lower. I'm going to take this crocus one here. I'm just going to see what this one, see if this one actually, looks like there's a lot of people that did some additions. So here's 1,064, sold price 190, right? So let's see if this is an as is. This is a wholesale property right here. This is a wholesale property that sold. You see the pictures, nice balloon. I don't know how that's gonna sell a house. But this is essentially, look at this. This is a wholesale, look at the kitchen. This is a wholesale property. There's nothing fixed up about this, this particular property. So this property right here is this one right here. This is actually a wholesale number. Now, we sold our property, look at this, we sold it at 156, right? We sold it at, actually we sold it at 158. We left, in my opinion, we left, in my opinion, right, 190 minus 158. We left roughly $32,000 on the table on this deal because we didn't have this. Now, what this would have done for us is said, hey, wait a minute here. If we would have said, hey, we're going to put it out at 155, 160, we would have looked at this right here, and if this showed us a number at 194, you say, wait a minute, let's go in and look and see what's going on. And I'm not exactly sure why we put this out at such a low number, but I know when we put this out, our phone blew up. We have multiple. I think we had like anywhere from 7 to 10 offers, maybe even 15 offers came in. And that will tell you that you've left too much money on the table on that particular deal, right? So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. This offer calculator, again, you can go in and save this if you want. You can save it, and then you are done on this deal. You can turn it on, save it, and you can save that, and then you can go back and put it, so when you go visit that property again, it can be in part of your saved, essentially, offers, and you can go back and you can look at those offers and determine, like I said, in the future, we got some cool stuff that's going to be coming out. So what's going to happen? So 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, this tool is going to go live in the actual everybody's software. It's going to go live in everybody's software, okay? Now, I can tell you it's something you want to get on right now. We have a limited amount of actual licenses left. So here's the thing. I want to show you if you can see this okay. So who is this for? Who is this tool? Now I'm just showing the offer calculator. I'm not showing a whole demo on how you pull list and how you skip trace and how you get data. This tool is exclusive to this software. No one else can have it. No one else can get it. But the bottom line is this software gives you so much more. So who's it for? It's for realtors that want to go out and be able to market to sellers and get potential listing and leads. It's for real estate wholesalers. This can give you accurate ARVs as a realtor on what to list the property for. And it gives you what to list a wholesale property for. It's amazing. So it gives you actually listing numbers that are accurate based upon current data, current sold data. The next thing is it's for real estate wholesalers. If you're a real estate wholesaler, it gives you ARV and it gives you the extra price you can sell your wholesale property for, gives you max allowable offer, and gives you the target number. I don't know how you can do business without this tool, period, right? Number 3, it's for fix and flippers. If you're a fix and flipper, you want to go direct to seller, this tool will allow you to pull data. You can send direct mail. You can skip trace within inside the system. And you can turn on pull their names, phone numbers. You can email the sellers out of the system after you skip trace them. Then you can take the phone numbers out of there. You can cold call them. You can ringless voicemail them. There's so much you can do with this particular app. And it also gives you, for fix and flippers, an entire, basically a budgetary fix and flip spreadsheet that you can use down to actually countertops, sinks, appliances, what a faucet costs, and that number is pulled directly in, and it's 100% accurate, so you can use it. So it has a repair sheet. It also gives you the comparable sales, so you can have a printout and be able to go talk to the sellers in an educated manner. And it shows you the actual days on market for any specific location. It shows you exactly the inventory levels. Is it an increasing inventory, a declining inventory? Whether it's a buyer or seller's market, it's huge. If you're a buy and holder, this gives you rental comps. It gives you an analysis where you can determine rents, how much renovations are needed to get it up to rental value. It gives you all the information. If you're doing down payment arbitrage, right? We're doing down payment arbitrage. I got class today, week number 4 at 12 o'clock here today. Week number 4, it shows you the actual mortgage, the mortgage information. It shows you potentially what the payoff is, and it gives you the potential interest rate, and it gives you what type of loan is it, if it is in an FHA. And you can pull lists. I'm going to show the people at Down Payment Arbitrage today the absolute best mailing list that we're mailing right now, and it's crushing for Down Payment Arbitrage, right? You're going to be able to go in and only be able to mail actual deals that you can do transactions, wraps with, and you can wrap and you can get the properties under contract for literally minimal down, keep the existing financing in place, and arbitrage the down payments between the seller and the buyer. It's huge. So who is it for? It's literally for anybody who is in this game, needs this. This is something you must have. So here's everything you get. Like, you want to get, you want to say, listen, I want the REI Automator today. I want to get my license. I want to get up and going. I want to use it. I want to have the published version that's coming out today at 3 p.m. Pacific. And the new offer automator, no one has it in the marketplace. You only can get it from here, but it has dynamically updated distress seller list. If you want highly targeted data that's dynamically updated, you know, immediately when it changes in the county records, it will change in the system. So have you ever sent mail and you got a bunch of mail back? That's a crappy list. Have you ever sent mail and the sellers call and they've already sold the property? That, my friends, is a crappy list. Have you ever got a list, then you skip trace the list and you got the phone numbers for the list and you cold call them or you RVM them? Either A, they don't function, they don't work, or sellers call back saying, I don't own that property and I haven't owned it for a while. I owned that property 6 months ago. That, my friends, is bad list. So you pay for the bad list, you get a bad list, and you turn around, skip trace the bad list, and you're paying for that. Now you're wasting time, energy, effort on a crappy list because the majority of all the other services or systems out there do not dynamically update their data. What they do is they get their data from previous 6 months. Why? Because they can't afford to get it dynamically updated. They can't afford to have it piped into all the counties across the country and have this. This is a national tool, national to the United States. If you want a virtual wholesaler, you're in Canada, Ecuador, Japan, Germany, and you want to flip houses in the United States, this is the only tool you'll need to be able to do it. Dynamically updates cash buyer data, which is huge. Meaning you can go in any area, just like I showed you. You can even use this tool and it will show you all the cash transactions that happen in a specific area. Now, cheapest, most accurate instant skip trace with no download needed. Now, if you've ever skip traced, you know you have to download the list, you have to get all the headers correct, you have to import it into the skip trace, then you have to wait. Sometimes you have to wait 2 and 3 and 4 days to get your data back and you're sitting there picking your nose, right? This is, you literally select your list, then you got to turn around and then you literally select the list, it automatically skips trace, it's the cheapest in the industry, and you can turn around and you can get that done. The fastest way to get cell phone numbers for RVM and cold call, right? The fastest and cheapest way to get high quality landlines, high quality cell phone numbers right out of the app, never having to download. This internal app is basically a cost-effective direct mail templates with the direct mail that I use and James uses in his business. There's a template that says Sean Terry in there, and that template is what is used to go out and get deals, whether it be down payment arbitrage deals or just wholesale deals. It's easily launched. It's just it's a point and click, and your mail goes out. Email motivated sellers directly out of the app. No one is doing this. So you get a dynamically updated motivated seller list. Then you turn around and it skip traces instantly inside the system. Then you turn around and now it gives you emails of sellers. And in the app, you can email the sellers. We give you the templates on what to email, okay? James and I are doing a training starting next week showing you exactly how to use this system to make $5,000 or more in the next 45 days or less. And emailing sellers is one of the ways to get sellers to call you. And you know how much it costs? Nothing. It's free. It's part of the app. 100% accurate ARVs, geolocated, wholesale-driven, geolocated, market-driven, wholesale exit price calculation. I just showed it to you. This will go live, and everybody that owns REI Automator's account at 3 p.m. Pacific and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. You get access to MLS-listed properties, right? You can know the properties are pending, active, sold, failed. You can get all that data and all that information in the system. There's nothing like it anywhere across the entire country. You get ultimate virtual wholesaling tool for getting deals done nationally. It doesn't matter where you're at. Now, we also have coming out in the next 30 days or less is the ability to put multiple layers of motivation on a property. You got high equity. Then you put pre-foreclosure. Then they have liens on the property and it's vacant. That's called multiple layers of motivation. It can take a list of 3,000 down to literally 10 to 15 to 20, maybe 50 leads. And those 50 leads, you can literally inundate them with marketing. You can knock on their doors and you can make sure those sellers are going to sell. And they're going to sell to someone. Guess what? Might as well sell to you. Get fully property details, including mortgage type and interest rates, fully support. We got technical support office that if there's any technical issues with the app, we have customer service support. We got 2 different supports to make sure you're good. Now, also as a bonus, James and I are going to do a training called How to Make 5K in 45 Days or Less, and we're going to teach you how to surround the perfect seller avatar. Surround them with your marketing. So when they are ready to sell, they're going to go to you. I have no other training in my system that talks about this. It's what James uses, what we use to literally surround our seller. We're doing this right now in getting deals. So we're going to talk about obviously understanding wholesaling, who sells houses at 40% below market, how to find the perfect motivated seller avatar out of there. Who do you target and who do you surround? How to attract the motivated seller avatar. So we're going to basically be omnipresent around the seller. Guess what? They're going to turn around. They're going to go to their mailbox. They're going to see you. They're going to open their email. They're going to see you. They're going to go on Facebook. They're going to see you. They're going to turn around, pick up their cell phone. They're going to see you. They're going to pick up their landline. They're going to see you or hear you. So guess what? They're going to be all around the seller like they've never seen before. Now we're going to turn around, also show you how to get your contract signed at the right offer price. How to use the tool to get ARV, to actually get the offer price, make the right offer, and how to actually get it done. Then we're going to talk about how to open escrow and how to find a closing agent, how to sell your property in lightning speed. We're going to show you basically how to go in this tool, find the cash buyers, how to get their phone numbers and be able to call them and talk to them about your property. And you're going to say this: hey, I just see you bought property about 3 weeks ago on 1234 Main Street. I got a property right down the street. It's very similar, and I'm going to sell it around the same price. If you're interested, let's chat. And because they know the area, because they know that, they're going to be a highly, highly motivated. And because this system shows you exactly where the cash buyers are, gives you a green highlight, those are the people you can focus on. How to get 5K check in 45 days or less. Now, we put a value on this. I asked James. James is and him and his team are the developers that put this thing together with Rob and the whole thing and all these guys. And I asked him, I said, where do we need to be at this? He goes, well, 1997 value. I said, listen, I want to make this available to everybody. I want to make it to where everybody can get involved. Everyone can have the aspect of it. He said, if we do this, we have to limit the amount of licenses then on this thing. So here's what we did. First off, we put together 5 fast action bonuses. 1, you get part of the community. The Flip to Freedom Academy Facebook group is part of the community where you can, people ask questions about real estate. You get all the contractive scripts, forms, and all that. You also get all this REI Automator software, bonuses to the Facebook group, access to the scripts and forms. That's a $5,491 value. Plus, I do coaching calls every 2 weeks. That means I get on the line with you, and James will get on the line also and do actually a software-specific coaching calls where we'll get on and we answer questions and tell you what's going on with the business, and it's specifically for the actual members of the Flip to Freedom Academy and now REI Automator. Here's some amazing success story. Here's Joe making $350,000 a year, wholesaling for 17 years, but he didn't have any systems or processes in place. He got up and going. First 18 months, made over $2 million. Now he's making $3 to $5 million, actually building from ground up. I follow him on Instagram. Great guy. Literally picks properties from ground up and making just ridiculous spreads. So here's some other people that have followed the system. Here's Jacob, which is amazing. $6,400. Once again, thanks Sean Terry for this incredible coaching skills. I want to thank Sean Terry for this wholesaling course. About at the end, boom, $45,000 and didn't know a word about real estate. Didn't know a thing about it. Got up and started. Made $45,000 first year. What would $45,000 do in your life right now if you had no idea about real estate? Here's another one. Turn 40. Bam! Over $20,000 in income. This is another one here. Dave, turnaround giving back. There's $11,900. That's huge. This guy, prior military, right? Literally lost his leg, got into business, made $50,000 his first 3 months and 250,000 first year out of the gate. Great success story. Plus, we want to put what's called deal or no deal. Deal or no deal is exactly shows you where you can deals and you can know what to offer. Now that we have the offer automator, this is going to help a little bit, but guess what? He can also do training on exactly how to use it too, plus also how to structure seller finance deals like down payment arbitrage. So here's everything you get. The REI Automator software with the offer tool, right? And all the data and the skip tracing and the direct mail and the email out of the app and the ARV, all the information out of that, which is dynamically updated. The Facebook group, all scripts, forms, and spreadsheets, bi-weekly coaching called Deal or No Deal. That is a $9,485 value. But here's the thing. What if this thing? Now, this software, if we would have had it a couple weeks ago, would have saved us $32,000 because we put the price of that particular property on her that I just showed you out for too little of a price, too little of a price. That one thing right there cost us $32,000, or even what if it was $20,000, right? What if it was $20,000? What if it's, the bottom line, what if all it does is just help you make $10,000? Well, we could sell this for a $29.97, or James could at least, for $29.97 for the software and training. And that would be a $7,000 in absolute pure profit on this deal. But guess what? You're going to get all this for, we got basically 52 licenses left. The price, retail price, if you go to the website at getfmhnow.com, getfmhnow.com, getfmhnow.com. You go there right now, you'll see the price is $897. That is the regular retail price. Because you're on this webinar, it is, you get a 30% off coupon at FlipFam. Use FlipFam as the coupon, and you get 30% off, saves $269 for 628 license fee. And then James and I are going to pay your first month for free for the data. Then it's $97 a month thereafter, and that is for 10,000 download of dynamically updated data in the system at $97 a month. It is the cheapest, most quality data you can find anywhere. I went out and did some research and looked at other competitors. They're charging 16 cents. They're charging 9 cents, 8 cents. The cheapest I found, which is the account that I have with listsource.com, is 3 cents, and that is a high user account. If you do over 100,000 downloads, that's 3 cents a record. I have not found anywhere else a cheaper method, but most quality. I'm mailing this data right now, and it is dynamically updated quality. Go to getfmhnow.com, getfmhnow. Use the coupon code 30 off. You'll save $269 at 628. Use FlipFam as the coupon code. You get to examine it, inspect it, and begin to use it. If you're not 1,000% happy, we stand by our products. If it's not absolutely amazing, you can get a refund for it. All you got to do is ask for a refund from Chelsea. She'll get a refund for you, and you'll be all set. But here's the thing. I know for a fact, once you get in and use it, once you start implementing the training that we're talking about, you're going to have to use this in your business. I can't imagine doing without it. How are you going to figure out exit price on property? Right? You get a property under contract. How do you know what you're going to sell it for? You're going to guess, right? Just like we did. We left $30,000 on the table. We could have sold the thing for probably $185, $190, right? We lost money on that deal. Why? Because we didn't have the tool. Today we do. Today you have the ability to. So here's the thing. Go to getfmhnow.com, getfmhnow. We have a limited amount of licenses left. Use a special coupon code FlipFam. FlipFam, you can get your actual access to it right now. It's going to push live. It's going to push live. Now, all the people that are in it, you're excited because you know it's going to push live and you can start using it, start playing with it. And we are going to do a full training on it so you understand how to use it. So you get all this, everything, instead of $97 retail price, license 30% off. Go to getfmhnow.com, getfmhnow.com, and you're able to get access. So what happens when you go to getfmhnow.com, you can go here, Get FMH Now. You're going to go to this page right here. Here's an actual demo of all the other stuff on the page, which is pulling the list and determining comps. This is before the offer automator, right? This is the obviously the offer automator. It gives you the ARV, gives you the exit price percentage, what you can sell your property for. There's nothing like it in the marketplace that uses geographic located data of exact comps is going in the neighborhood. You can go in and select the comps if you want to even hone it even better. But the bottom line is you go here, right? Here's everything you get with this right here. If you click here to get started, it's going to open this page. It's going to explain everything you get right here. And then what you're going to do is if you want to use what's called PayPal credit, you can click here on this link right here. It's going to open up in a new page. And you click on this PayPal credit section. And this right here, 628, you log in and you can click the tab that says PayPal credit. Now, PayPal will extend you actual credit where you can buy now and pay later, right? Up to like 6 months, no payments, no interest, if you qualify. Now, here's the thing, is that most companies, most startups, most businesses go get business loans, they go get raise capital, they go get private investors or angel investors to invest in a company. And what they do is they turn around and raise capital, and that's how they start their business. This is great because PayPal will extend you that credit as essentially to start your business in here. You can use PayPal credit. If you go down here, if you have the coupon code, you'll see this, FLIPFAM, FlipFam. You click this link right here, and it should 628. We have a limited amount of licenses left. They're going like crazy, 30-day money back guarantee. So if you go here and you click the link, boom, it'll click there, it'll open up that page, and you can secure your membership at there. So that's getfmh.com, getfmhnow.com. You can get it there. All right. I'm going to jump off here because I've got to get on and prepared and ready for the down payment arbitrage webinar that is in less than an hour right now. We've got to get all our shop set up over here and get ready to launch that. So make sure you go to getfmhnow.com, getfmhnow, secure your license of if you don't have it. I know a ton of people already do have it. They're on here listening. Remember, it's going to push live today at 3 p.m. East Coast. 3 p.m. West Coast. That's 6 p.m. East Coast. And it'll be live in your system. You can play around with it. We will do a full training on it. So if you go in and you mess around with it and it's not working for you or whatever, which it should, if you have high comp areas, then the bottom line is we will be doing a training next week and explaining exactly how this works and how you can use it in your business. So go to getfmhnow.com, getfmhnow.com, use the coupon code FLIPFAM to save $628 with the minimal licenses we have left. So I'm going to sign off. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you're excited about this. We're pumped. We're next week. This is all we're going to use when it comes to ARV and exit price numbers. We're excited to use it to get this cranking and start making it happen. James, again, thank you so much. Rob, again, thank you guys so much for cranking it out and being able to push out at least the tool that I can use and having the tool available to everybody and the owners of this REI Automator here today. So everyone's excited about. So thank you guys so much. Have a blessed day and an awesome weekend. All the DPA members, I will see you in about an hour. Take care. God bless.